Okay, hi. Um, Recently I decided it would be kind of a fun experiment to do a time capsule for any percent. If you haven't heard somehow, Isaac got a sub 26 any percent recently. It's pretty hype, but it has started a lot of conversations about like, is this the final minute barrier the game will see, that sort of stuff, how much time save is left. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of like get a pulse check on the community, ask some questions about what they thought the future of the run was. And so I got about 63 people to respond, a lot of different skill levels represented. Um, and I think it will be fun to look back on in a few years and just kind of like see where we were at during this time. Who knows like how this will pan out? Like we could be totally right, we could be totally wrong. Who knows what the game will look like in 5 years, basically. So it's just purely for fun. I'm mostly stripping the names out of the individual results. Like you'll see this list of name, but you won't know like what result is tied to each person. With the exception of myself, I'll show off what I put. But if you somehow get a like glimpse of like, oh, this person responded this, don't like use this to laugh at them in like 5 years or something. Like nobody knows what's going to happen to this run in 5 years, so just be chill with it. Other than that, this is just going to be kind of a lazy, informal video. I'm actually live streaming it too. I might respond to someone in my chat at some point, but I figured it was better to do this and like put effort into editing it and have it never happen because I'm really busy right now. So I will go into it now. So the questions I asked, basically, do you think sub 25 will ever happen, bearing a major skip, where a major skip would be any time save greater than 10 seconds? So, like, in the history of Celeste 90%, there have been, like, four of those, maybe more like three. I mean, like, 5B, 6B counts, second blacklist counts. You could argue menu storage, but that got removed from the run. And that's kind of it. Other than stuff like search skip, which doesn't count because it got found like week one. It was like probably found in development. So, asking like in 5 years, do you think we will see another like do you think sub 25 will happen just on the merits of movement optimization and small strats alone? Then like in general, do you think sub 25 will happen if it does win? Um and then what time do you think any percent will be at in 5 more years? Do you think any percent will see a major skip? So like I said, like will we see another like route change like 5B 6B in a run, like that sort of thing? Will that happen again? And then just like name what you think that might look like, and then just this one is kind of hard to answer unless you like are familiar with the top level run, but it's like what small strats, like small optimizations, do you think will start being done? Because there's a lot of random stuff that's like, oh, a demo that saves like a second here or there, and it's just like, what sort of stuff like that do you think will be in a run? And then from there, it's just like, who do you think the next record holder will be? Just like generally speaking, don't name names, and if sub 25 ever happens, who do you think will get it? So those are the questions, and we'll dive into responses. So sub 25 whatever happened. Before today I had 50 responses exactly today when I went for work, and I got 13 more when I got home. Before it was like 75-25, and now it is like leaning slightly more towards, it's still like kind of overwhelmingly yes, but no got a lot more populated, which is kind of interesting. um that said, I guess I'll say now, like I am very much a believer in sub 25. Even if nothing major happens, like no 10-second skip happens, I think it is very inevitable. Um, Main thing is everyone thought sub 26 wasn't possible. Like you look at Marlon's old 26 here. His sum of best at the time was a 26-11. That's with checkpoint splits. So like playing every single segment better than he's played in a full game run in just like one sitting just seems like impossible at the time to do that. And then what, like 1 year, 7 months later, we've done it. And even before then, it's like you look at Bubs's 26-29 from like a year and a half ago or something. I can't think right now. Something like that. Yeah. Um, it's like his best possible time entering Summit is like 26-19, and that's not checkpoint splits. It's just like that. So the difference, what? Okay, so this is about a year. So the difference a year makes is like checkpoint splits. are 2611, and then a year later we're entering Summit on 2619 pace, just like Summit IL, not the checkpoints. And this is with a 755 Summit too. Like people are getting 4x's and runs now. So bearing that in mind, like a lot changes. Like people just get better at the game. New small stuff gets found. In fairness to this run, 1.4 is a lot of time save. But that said, obviously there will be diminishing returns. But even then, 5 years is a long ass time. And just like thinking like past 5 years, like 10 years or something. Like I think it's crazy to think this is the last minute barrier. Um, like 5 years is about how old the game is in general now. So just like imagine how much better people are going to be in 5 years from now, that sort of thing. Like they're not going to be twice as good as they are now. Like there's going to be diminishing returns, but diminishing returns are still returns, basically, is what I'm saying. That said, to kind of show my own ass here, any percent is very much not a category I play often. My PB's like 2.5 years old and it's like a low 29 or something. But that said, I'd like to think I am tuned in enough with the game to feel pretty confident this is the case. We'll see though. I could be totally wrong, but we'll see. And so, of the people that think just sub 25 will happen generally, and this includes, this is like just raw movement optimization alone. Like, what do you think sub 25 happen? But this is just like in general. So, say like, Mini Storage 2 gets found tomorrow and sub 25 becomes just like instantly free. Like, do you think that'll ever really happen? If so, like, when? So that's why there's kind of like these two separate questions. It seems kind of weird, but that's like the rationale for that basically. Um, but either way, nobody thinks it will happen under a year from now, which is pretty safe to assume. I can't imagine what would happen. What would have to happen for this to happen in under a year? Like some crazy stupid skip would have to be found. And it has to be found like soon too. Like I don't know. Um, Otherwise, most people thought either like 3 to 5 or over 5 years from now. I think I said 3 to 5. Again, just kind of like 26, 29, like 30 seconds being saved in about a year and a half, more than a year and a half, is about standard for any percent. But that rate's going to slow down. But I think in 5 years we'll be there. No problem, like easy peasy. So I asked people to be specific. What time do you think any percent will be at in 5 more years? And the results we got roughly are this. I went through this twice. We have 63 responses, and this does not add up to 63. There's two responses I had to throw out because they were too vague to be able to include on the graph. But I think it totals to like 59 still, and I don't know where 4 responses went. I filled this out twice, and it was off by 4 twice, so I don't know what's up. But other than that, the two most populated cells by far are people thinking 25 2x or like 24 5x. In general, it leans more towards the sub 25 side, but in general, people think it's either going to be here or here, more or less. Um, so a lot of this is like a matter of opinion, or like, it's hard to predict accurately, but I will say, I think anything below this point is kind of a massive cope to not think that any percent record will be passed. Anything like 25, 29 or higher is like the record's going to be lower than that. Main reason is Isaac's best ever pace entering Summit is a 25:38. So it's like, you know, in 5 years, surely we will be 10 seconds better than that fastest pace ever. Like, surely, like, there's just no doubt in my mind. Like, absolutely. Um, but just speaking generally, like, you could kind of say, like, the ideal human run right now would probably be about, yeah, 25, 3x, a high one. You could get what's the sum of best in general? I think it's like a 2, yeah, 21. So, like, really, really solid run would be like a 39 or something. So, 5 years from now, I think 10, 20 seconds coming down easy, no problem. Um, Beyond that, there are some brave souls who are saying sub 24, which is very funny. if you think sub 24 will happen, you're very based. And yeah, beyond that, I'm glad nobody said 25 5x. I'm glad nobody was like, oh yeah, the category's dead after this record. So that's good. Um, and then next fun question is will any percent ever see a skip that saves over 10 seconds? It's like exact 50-50. Not exact, but um my personal opinion is I think yes. I'm not sure what though. My response to this was like, what the next any percent discovery will look like. And my one of three most likely, in my opinion, least likely to most likely, is I think huge mess skip is the least likely to happen, and then 2A intervention skip, and then something in 5B central chamber to skip bubs drop. So I guess to fill in each and why I think that is, just real quick. So like huge mess skip gets solved immediately if you can skip any key door in the level. It also gets solved if you can, for example, like this room right here. This room is connected in shaft. Like if you could spawn at this checkpoint to the left, you would have huge mess skip. So that being said, we've like looked at the source code for keys and we haven't really found anything of note. And it would be really game breaking if we found a way to spawn at like an arbitrary checkpoint from any room. Like it would matter more than huge mess. And yeah, there's a cassette room too, up here. If you could like spawn over here or like remotely collect a cassette or something, like that would work. And it's just like there's a lot of possible entry points, but all of them have been kind of ruled out, and like the source code has ruled out some of them. And we'll see. I don't think it's likely though. 2-8 seems slightly more likely to me. Because there's this room you can peek into, and there's this cutscene you can do funny stuff with, but it's not really helpful funny stuff. It's just like funny stuff. So it's like, I don't know, maybe you could do something weird with like X coordinate warping and like end up in this room or something cheeky. It would be very funny and probably not practical, but I think it's slightly more likely than huge mess skip. But I think this so like one thing that would work is this crumble block. If you could activate it from underneath, that'd be a bump drop skip, easy peasy. Just another menu of menu storage would also work if you could just do the old menu storage skip and just like walk in here, or yeah, walk past this gate. I think it wouldn't surprise me at all if we just found like another entry point for menu storage or something. I'm not sure how it was patched. I might be completely wrong on this, but if it was patched kind of lazily, it would not surprise me if something convoluted was found to just make menu storage possible again, which would save over, I think, over 10 seconds here probably, and it would save more time because you can skip cassette cutscenes and other stuff. So that would be a possible thing. But other than that, solids and Celeste are really good at being solid, and if they are bad at being solid, then we have a lot more problems than just these skips. Like if you can just like arbitrarily phase through a wall, think of like all the broken shit you could be skipping. Like it'd be very silly. So that aside, I guess I can skim what some people thought. A lot of the people are correct though that like to save over 10 seconds, you have to be skipping more than one room. Like you have to be skipping multiple rooms, and like doing that is not very conducive to just how Celeste works. Like you can build up a lot of speed, but you're not keep like even like task cliff face or something, keeping speed the whole way through isn't even close to 10 seconds. Like shit like that. Um Demo 3 setup, haha, very funny. A lot of huge mess skip. A lot of people coping about the Pico 8 machine. Huge Bino storage skip. Bino storage is another thing. The task recently has found some fucked up stuff with binos, and so like everyone fears God with them and thinks they're like going to be an entry point to Ace. Not going to happen probably, but I think there will be some more funny stuff with binos. Might not be relevant to any percent, but I think there is more to be found with them because they are pretty broken, but not that broken. Some people also thinking a B side might eventually become faster than an A side, which the only one it could be would be 2B. If you could get the cassette without activating the dream blocks, I think it would push 2B being faster just slightly, which would be very base. I would maybe play any percent if 2B was faster. It'd be a tough decision, but I might do it. And I mean, 3B is never going to be viable ever, like ever, because if you get the cassette, you can just play Sweet. Um, 4B is never going to be faster because 4B takes longer than 4A. Same for 1A and 1B, and Summit isn't going to happen either, probably. So, the only other thing would be playing 5A instead of 5B. And I'm not 100%, or yeah, play 5A instead of 5B. I'm not sure if I misspoke, but like, there's this invisible wall right here. And it's like, if you got through the... I'm pretty sure if you phase through this wall and skip this entire section of search, I'm pretty sure this still isn't enough to make 5A faster. I might be completely wrong on that, but yeah. So yeah, that's basically it for the next major potential discoveries. People coping about hollow skip would be very funny. Skip a key door. I think skipping the key door in 2500 meter would not be 10 seconds. It just wouldn't be. Maybe if you could skip any key door, it'd be more time than that, because that'd be a lot of fucked up stuff. But big mess skip, Lamau. And I think that's also a consideration. If something really, really big gets found, the category would probably get split, and I don't think the comparison would be fair. But it would still be funny to be like, haha, I told you so, 24 happened. Eat it. That sort of thing. I don't think so. I don't think auto score skip in 2K vertical. How much is this for me then? I don't want to like play the room and time it and show my own ass on how bad I am at this game, but here, I'll do it for the content. Next room. That's not an ultra. No, come on, dude. You're better than this. That's not how that works. Alright, so if you teleport upwards instantly, it maybe saves 10 seconds, But more realistically, if you could somehow climb the entire thing, um, it could maybe save like 2-3 seconds. Even then, vertical movement in Celeste doesn't really, uh, I don't know, like it's not super conducive to like big skips. And if something like this becomes possible, like you can just do crazy ass vertical movement like this and like skip this somehow, it's like a lot more rooms in this room are going to get broken. So I don't know. It's not super. I think this is kind of getting into the next topic. Little strats that might get discovered. Um, so auto score skip in this room. Not the task version of it. Like you wouldn't do like fucking like 50 crazy multi boosts, but I feel like maybe some weird variant of that could be maybe viable one day, maybe if you hate yourself. Like maybe something like that. So let's this is probably going to be the most fun section to read through. So my response was nothing will be pause buffered anymore. No bumps drop, no 6B multi boost. I think in current year, looking at like raw time saved world records, that would be two easy things. Zcad used to do 6B multi boost unbuffered, and there's a lot of people who do bumps drop unbuffered, so it's like just do it, lol, just hit it. Like I don't know, just hit it, lol. But Task Awake as well, I think like if you're going for 3x or so or lower, like you probably got to reset for Task Awake in current year. And I think I don't think it's super contentious to say that Summit 3X should probably have happened by now. Like no doubt it's a hard ass time, but I think it should have been done a bit ago. Um but yeah, multi this is the number one strat. I think the number one big thing for any percent maybe is multi-boost bump drop skip somehow. It will no doubt include multiple frame perfect inputs. I think at minimum 2 frame perfect inputs, and it will be harder than second blockless. But I think it will be the next thing to consider once the setup gets solved. I feel pretty confident about this being the next big thing. I could be totally wrong, but that's my opinion on the whole thing. Um, the next big secret sauce for me, I agree with this person would be task face. It's very close to solved. It's like pretty close. It would be hard as fuck. Probably the hardest thing in a very hard level, but you gotta nut up and do it. Task face again for sure. Unpause Bob's drop XD. Shaft demo. Oh yeah, shaft demo before shaft 3. I think we're talking about um this room. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this room. This demo right here, I agree, I'm surprised this isn't in runs already. I don't think it's that bad as I recall. I'm gonna hit it real quick. Fuck. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. Fuck. Free. There we go, it's free. You just have to not... The hard part, I remember, once I got the muscle memory for it, and I haven't played this game in like 6 months, but yeah, once you get the muscle memory for it, the hardest part is not dying after you get it. You just have to like kind of nut up and assume you get it. The main thing is you like hesitate and yeah. Also, in segments, people are doing like this. I think there's a 1 frame you can get from a bunny hop. I might be wrong though. If not, I feel like there might be a way to do this. This is hard though. And yeah, I can understand cutting this. Yeah, it's rough. But I am kind of surprised it's not in a run. Funny CB and 2A under. I don't think that saves enough time, but I guess so. I guess I can see people doing it. It just doesn't save that much time though. People are correct, absolutely correct. Crossing 1 CB will be end runs. I was considering doing it in any percent myself. It is frame perfect, but I was very consistent at it when I was in practice. Is this bind right? It is not. 1 second. Is that the bind I want? Yeah, okay, that's the bind I want. Fuck. No, I need to transition wall bounce. Fuck. There. If I jumped right, it would have been good. No, that was a frame late. Nope. Nope. Okay, I suck. There it is. Okay. Yeah, when I was in practice at this, I got it, I think my best ever was 12 times in a row. It saves like 0.3, 0.4. It's pretty early in the run. You just kind of reset over it. I think, speaking generally, an easier way to say it would be like, get 54 city. Yeah, 1IO does this. Yeah, oh hell yeah. It's, if you don't know, it's a setup though. The reverse hyper is frame perfect. And then I think releasing jump is like a 2-frame window or something. Maybe not quite that bad. But like this upright dash is frame perfect. But that's the only frame perfect part of it. Yeah, there we go. It's dog shit execution, but you know. Some people put that into form. I'll get to that in a bit. Oh yeah. Oh wait, no, never mind. It's not there yet. But I'll bring it up in a bit. Oh yeah, City Zipper multi boost. So, I don't know. I think it could be. I don't know how consistent like Tau and stuff is at it. But it seems a bit much. I think there's more you could implement first. Okay, so this is a big list. Tesla Face, 4A Start Ultra Chain. So this is something people have already started doing and something I haven't really practiced or looked into myself at all. But there's some like new secret sauce here that people I have seen like doing runs and stuff. I've heard it's actually pretty consistent, but it's like, I don't know. I'm not even going to try. I don't know. You can get a corner boost from here and get an ultra chain. It saves like over a second. Or maybe not over a second. Close to a second, I think. But Recently someone got a OX ridge with it, so that's kind of based. Um, then we got what else? More water boosting in 6B. I guess. I don't see people water boosting in any percent, but I could be wrong. 1.5 seconds with all of it? That's crazy. I believe it though. It's a lot of time, but um YOLO reprieve coin skip. I don't know what this is. What is that? Is that uh uh, this room? Yeah, it would be this room. But they just mean like taking this feather like a god gamer. Something like, whatever Aurora used to do. I don't know what Zcash does now, but I remember Aurora just like nutted up and just like hit it, and that was like 3 years ago. So yeah, I think this can be an 80% one day, probably. Faster 5A room 2 tested some funny shit. Um, Water Lake Skip. Yeah, Water Lake Skip maybe. It's dumb, but I don't know what to jank. Oh, the shit sucks. Yeah, probably will be in the run though. Oh yeah, you do it. I don't know if it's not exactly what Aurora did. Aurora did some like dumb shit where it's like no setup, you just kind of do it, and it was like 3 years ago. So I don't know. I feel like people can start looking into that. A big list here. Cutscene Ultra under Strat 3 start. I feel like people already do that though. 3A demo, test, cliff face, dread corner, lol, uh, fast central chamber shit, 6B falling overhaul. I just don't see water boosts happening or being necessary ever. I don't know. I don't know what the new cycle is. I just don't know. And then at least two frame perfect 3K demos. I'm surprised this is the first person I've seen to mention Flag 17. It saves like a second plus, and Marlon used to go for it in runs and was pretty consistent at it. Like I never saw him fail it. He was doing it in any percent tournament, I think, and like he was hitting it more often than he wasn't. That said, it's easier to do when you're not on 24 pace, sort of thing. But I think it's high up on the list of things to consider for like frame. The subpixel stuff for it is like not real. I think the subpixel shit happens like some obscenely low percentage of the time, and I think I even looked at it further, and it shouldn't happen if you just like move well. Like I think it's very specific, and you have to be moving badly beforehand for it to even happen. Because landing on a cloud, it's like 1 in 7, but you have to be moving badly. Like you have to do something bad, and it's 1 in 7. Like 1 in 7, as in 1 in 7 hit rate, or um 1 in 7 to fail. Because if it's 1 in 7 hit rate, that's just wrong. Whoever told you that was wrong, I'm pretty sure. What? Are we talking about the same thing? I feel like that's wrong. Oh shit, what do I do? Black 17 is the one before this, yeah. We're gonna dash from here. Dead. I forget how this works. Is it literally just this? Hold up. Yeah, it's like that. More often than not, I saw Marlon dying from just like doing this, like just jumping into the spinners. I don't know. I am not practiced this. Oh yeah, there we go. Easy. Black 3 demo is this shit. You can demo. Oh, nice save state, idiot. Um, Out of the feather, you can do like left up into the feather. Maybe I can get the right pixel here. I'm high. I'm actually like way too high. God damn it. What the fuck was that? What? That was insane. 1 pixel higher. Oh, don't scroll in. You choked. Anyway, I believe people have been bouncing setups around where it's like you bounce the feather off the ceiling. Like, oh my god, I'm a god gamer. Alright, I'm getting the first 24. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. It's just impossible. But you can like bunk the ceiling, I think, and it's like frame perfect or something. But yeah, that saves some time. 2 frame with specific feather movement. Yeah, that sounds right. Um, transition ultra under strat. I read this when I was looking through early responses. This seems crazier to me than sub 25 is a sub 725 summit by a human player. This seems so much harder than a sub 25 any percent. Like holy shit, a sub 725 summit. Like it's like that's as demonstrated as possible. Like obviously, but yeah, like a low 3x would already be really good. I forget what the comp sub is right now. It's probably pretty fast because like 3K saw some sweaty shit recently. There's like a bunch of demos in that segment now, but it's like, goddamn, sub 725 would be crazy. But yeah, I think nobody would disagree that 3x should have happened by now. And I think we're maybe a year and a half off people just like getting 3x's and runs with like not extreme consistency or anything, but like they can do it. 727 epic. Double demo. Oh yeah, I saw a lot of people talking about this. I think it's frame perfect though. This load 7 again. Like this room, you can like demo here and then like jump and then demo again. I'm pretty sure it's frame perfect though. It seems kind of iffy. Like it can be relatively consistent, I think, because like frame perfect, whenever it's like a quick sequence of inputs, is usually more consistent. But even then, the risk reward seems kind of fucked on it. Oh yeah, I forgot Isaac. Did he cut or did he just fail? The 0 meter strat. Because people are going through this in ILs. It is not that bad, IMO. Let's say as I fail it endlessly. Once again, I haven't played this game in 6 months. He doesn't go for that? Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's a thing I think should be looked into, but he doesn't do that. Yeah, it saves a lot of time. It saves way too much time. And it's pretty dumb, but like if you practice the Summit IL a bunch, you get a pretty decent muscle memory at it. And if you realize you failed it on transition, you can back it up and just do the normal strat, which is the main reason I'm kind of surprised people don't go for it. Um, if you like are too early on the hyper, you're just fine. Like it doesn't matter. And if you're too late on the hyper too, it doesn't matter. You can just react. Like it's no big deal. The worst thing you can do is miss a coyote jump, which is like a 2 frame window, I think. So don't do that. Yeah, 6B falling section. There's a lot of Kevin refreshes you can do that people don't do. Um, it's called Task Cliff Face because the task does it and it's fast. I don't know. I don't know what to call it. I found it. Smile. Um, unpot. Also, I'm not going to name names. I want you to try and guess who wrote this one. I wonder who it could be. Oh, 2K Ultra Chain is a good one. I forgot about this one. Um, but like this shit. No, one room back. This is hard and stupid, but I agree. I could see it being a thing. It's another thing that saves a lot of time. I'm really bad at the short B hop though. Holy shit, I'm really bad at it. I'm so out of practice. Anyway, yeah, this shit's really bad, but I could think it's like the type of thing you could go for, and if you hit it, like, oh my god, you're a god. But like, I don't know. That's like how Task Awake started too. It was like you would just kind of go for it and hope. And now I see like whenever Zcad goes for it and runs, he hits it like 70% sometimes. Like it's crazy. He's so consistent at it. Um, this is just a laundry list of random bullshit I'm not gonna read. Room 2 B hop, funny. Um, I like, yeah, it's just room 2 B hop. This is all city stuff. There's more to the run than city. Touch grass. Um, I'll probably skim the rest of these. I think a lot of the same stuff. Oh yeah, this was awesome. IDK if you count me as experience, but I would say it's pretty likely. So we will in fact see small new strats. Um, I think that's a safe bet. IDK, also a very good response to an optional question. And that's about it. Yeah, higher movement standards. I think Secure Count does room 2B hop. I know he's gotten like 55.9 cities and runs, and if he's doing that without room 2B hop, I'm concerned. Like, it's doable without that, but it's like, I feel like you're resetting way too fucking hard if you're doing that. And then the final two questions were like, who do you think the next 90% world record holder will be? Nobody said someone who has yet to start speedrunning the game, which I agree with. I think the next record will probably happen within a year, probably less. Um, I don't know, we'll see. And then sub 25 ever happens, who do you think will get it? I would generally agree someone who has yet to start speedrunning the game. It's either one or the two. It could maybe be this too. I could see if we get really close to sub 24, or not sub 24, sub 25, it would start kind of a push for like, oh shit, I gotta de-rust and like improve my time and stuff. And yeah, I that said, a lot of the people are kind of moving on. Like, I don't think I would see Marlon ever PBing any percent again. I don't know about Bubs. I don't think he'll ever stop playing Celeste as much as he copes about quitting, but yeah, that's about it for the poll, I think. It was moderately fun. I'm kind of glad I decided to do it. I think it will be fun to look back on.